Have you ever looked in the mirror one morning and felt like something was off, like time itself had shifted? Imagine waking up and seeing not more wrinkles but fewer. Not gray hair spreading but vanishing. Not joints stiffening, but suddenly moving with the ease of youth. At first, it feels like a blessing, the kind of miracle people secretly dream of. But what if this wasn't meant to happen? What if aging backwards wasn't in the prophecy at all? This story begins with Daniel, an ordinary man living in a small town, surrounded by familiar routines. He was 49 years old, tired from years of hard work, carrying the weight of every disappointment etched across his face. Life was slow, predictable, and at times painfully heavy. But then, one morning, something changed. The mirror reflected a face he hadn't seen in decades. Skin smoother, eyes brighter, lines fading as though someone had quietly erased them overnight. Daniel's body felt alive, his steps lighter, his heart stronger. At first, he thought it was a dream. Maybe his mind was playing tricks on him. But as the days passed, the transformation continued. Each sunrise peeled away another year. His neighbors noticed it too. Whispers spread. People asked questions. Was it a new diet? A medical breakthrough? A secret treatment no one knew about? But Daniel had no answers. He hadn't done anything different. This wasn't a choice. It was something that had chosen him. And then came the whispers of prophecy. In his town, old legends had been told for generations. Stories of a time when chosen people would carry signs that the world was nearing a turning point. Most thought of it as folklore, bedtime stories, nothing more than tales to entertain. But the more Daniel reversed in age, the more the old words came back to life. Was this a fulfillment of those forgotten prophecies, or a sign of something else entirely? Every night, Daniel would dream strange visions. He saw clocks running backward, stars flickering as though the sky itself was unraveling. He saw faces of people he loved, only younger, fading into shadows. He heard voices whispering warnings he couldn't fully understand. This was not foretold. This was not meant to be. The fear began to grow. What looked like a gift was starting to feel like a curse. His hands, once rough with age, now looked like those of a teenager. His memories of adulthood still remained, but his body betrayed them. Friends began to pull away, afraid of what he was becoming. Even the church in town grew divided. Some called him blessed, chosen by God. Others called him dangerous, a disruption to the natural order. Daniel didn't know where to turn. All he knew was that time was moving in the wrong direction, and he was powerless to stop it. If this wasn't in the prophecy, then what was happening? And if the world's timeline was breaking, what would happen next? Not just to him, but to everyone. The real story begins the night Daniel vanished, leaving behind only a journal that carried the final words. It wasn't supposed to happen this way. The journal Daniel left behind was not just a collection of thoughts. It was a map of his unraveling life. Each page carried fragments of fear, confusion, and questions no one could answer. In one entry, he described how his reflection no longer matched the man he remembered. He wrote of staring into the mirror, searching for the husband, the father, the friend he once was, but seeing only the face of a stranger who belonged to another time. The conflict grew inside him. If he was becoming younger each day, how long before he became a child again? And what would happen when time ran out completely? Neighbors who once greeted him warmly now avoided his gaze. Some feared he was cursed, while others whispered that he was the chosen sign of a prophecy misunderstood. The town's pastor warned that not all miracles come from God, and Daniel couldn't shake the thought that perhaps the strange gift was instead a trap. He wanted to believe there was meaning behind his condition, but the silence from heaven weighed heavily on him. Meanwhile, his family struggled to accept what was happening. His daughter, who had once leaned on him for guidance, now watched in terror as her father's authority slipped away with every lost year. His friends, uncertain whether to protect him or push him away, began to fracture into two camps. Those who believed his condition could save them, and those who believed it would destroy them. At the center of it all, Daniel wrestled with the deepest question. Was this aging backward a warning for the entire world, or simply the beginning of his own end? And if the prophecy had never spoken of this, what greater secret was still hidden in the shadows? Daniel's journal grew darker with every passing day. His handwriting, once steady, now trembled as if his very grip on reality was slipping. He described moments when time itself seemed to bend around him. Clocks stopping, candles burning backward, shadows stretching in directions they shouldn't. His body kept changing, becoming younger, but the world around him looked increasingly fragile, like glass ready to shatter. The townspeople could no longer ignore it. Groups gathered outside his home at night, some praying, others shouting warnings. They believed his condition wasn't just personal. It was a signal that something far greater was unfolding. Daniel began hearing whispers even when he was alone. Voices spoke his name in tones both tender and terrifying. They told him the prophecy had been broken, that the order of time had been disturbed. Sometimes, he would wake in the middle of the night with his bed soaked in sweat, his dreams filled with images of fire and falling stars. Other nights, he dreamed of himself as a child, standing at the edge of an abyss that never ended. The fear grew heavier with each vision, and yet so did the mystery. His daughter noticed something even stranger. She swore she saw the same changes in her own reflection, her hands smoother, her hair darker, though only for fleeting moments. The thought that Daniel's condition might spread sent panic through the town. Some begged him to leave, while others demanded he stay, believing his presence held the key to their survival. But the journal's final pages carried a chilling truth. Daniel wrote that he felt time running out. Not forward, not backward, but collapsing in on itself. And on the last night before he disappeared, he scrawled one final line. "The climax is coming, and none of us are ready."